Good morning, Sunday. It's 8:15 in round numbers. 15 seconds it is. Here I am over here on the left side, on the right side of the middle, which is where I like to behave. As you all know, I like to be just right in the middle. There's the middle. I am just to the right. Everyone that needs help gets help. No one else. And no illegal aliens, as we annotate them in the United States Constitution. We don't call them undocumented. There's no such word in the vocabulary of the U.S. Constitution. You're either an illegal alien or you're a citizen. Back then, you could also have been a slave, which that was taken care of in 1865 or so, with an amendment to our Constitution, making it illegal to own slaves. Yeah. A couple hundred years ago, that was a way of life for the Africans that were used to harvest crops and so forth. In societies around the world, including the history of the United States. So no more slaves. And that's that. These activists that want reparations. Yeah, really? Citizens of today are going to pay for the way of life 250 years ago. If you don't like it, go back to Africa. I mean, that's like a hardline stupid thing, but it's just as stupid a comment as wanting reparations. Anyway, two sides to every story. All right, we have primary elections in Maine, South Carolina, North Dakota, and Nevada this week. I guess Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. This is episode 602B. Look at this. The 7 steps to progress. Oh yeah. Disclaimers, disclosures, streams, warnings, notices, and cautions. There's 7 basic categories. We don't do this, we don't do that, we don't give financial advice, we don't give any advice to anybody for anything. We may own things. The producers, the directors, the author may own iPads, iPhones. That doesn't mean we're pushing it for fee. We don't receive any fee for using those devices on or off the air. We don't give internet advice. We don't give IT advice. We don't give financial advice. We're not licensed financial advisors. And we're not licensed CPA accountants. We have so disclosed it. Disclaimed it. Yes. You notice we have disclosures, disclaimers. We've got all kinds of different categories, subcategories. Read this at your leisure. Oh yeah, we're typing away in the back room. There's a little dust. You see the Underwood typewriter here? The portable Underwood typewriter here? You know who invented it? He invented it. The signed inventor. My grandfather. Handmade out of stainless steel. The portable typewriter. For Underwood. He was an employee of the Underwood Company. He received a gold watch. All right, there's Jimmy and Marilyn show. There we are. Notice we have our USA 250 flag pin in rare circulation. Oh, we've got them. Yes, we do. And there's yours truly, the author of this production, with all my eyebrows and hairs and little dits here and there. I gotta have my good friend Gene Strasser take a look at that little dit. Those little kind of dits, you know, if you're not playing around out in the sun, I don't even know if I have that did anymore. There could have just been a cosmetic, eruption. Anyway, welcome to our show. I understand that the Facebook Live component of this has not been simulcasted this morning. I will figure that out sometime between today and tomorrow and find out what's going on with that. I got a notice on do this, do that, and it would have interfered with this timely broadcast, so I got rid of it. Oop. This is our 7 steps to success. Keeps us out of internet court, according to our lawyers, advisors, and whatevers. Now this is a study right here. This is a study for the use calculation of this is a course and how to create a spreadsheets, okay, whether it be numbers or the Microsoft version of spreadsheets. Yeah. In the world of Microsoft, you call it Excel. In the world of Apple products, we call it numbers. And if you're going to write letters and paragraphs and books, that's done in pages. So you got numbers and pages. So this happens to be a print screen of a numbers spreadsheet, of an Excel type spreadsheet. Numbers in Excel are, functional equivalencies. Numbers like Apple thinks theirs is superior. The Windows people think theirs, Excel, is superior. I'm here to say that Excel was here first, 30 years ago. And Apple woke up 25 years ago. I wanted to just show you the general compounding. Now, this particular annuity, so if someone had a $392 million annuity. You know, you're a trust company, you're a trust company baby, a trust account baby, and you get an annuity every year, and it's a 5% growing annuity, where you receive stipends from the Wilson Trust. I'm making all this up, of course. But remember, we're producing a numbers spreadsheet to be able to deliver, a 30-year annuity. The first payment is day one. Today, Grandpa died. In our little story here, our little internet story, which is totally fabricated by the author, yours truly. Our little studio is run by 3 psychological resources. Me, myself, and I. The 3 of us are doing this. I am the stagehand, I am the author and the producer, delivering this whole content to YouTube Live. God bless them. So this is not encouraging, this grandpa passed away in our little story here. Follow along here. And it's a $392 million annuity that Grandpa has left the family tree. And as a participant in Grandpa's estate, we will receive, within 2 weeks, a deposit of $5.9 million. Nice round number. Now the second payment, which we'll get a year from today, could be $6,195,000. The significance of that number is, this is all pre-tax, by the way. No tax considerations in these payments. $5.9 million is before any taxes. Florida doesn't have an income tax, but we do have, we're part of the Federal Republic of States, so we have an income tax. So this is subject to an income tax of 37%, likely. If you made $5.9 million in the year, you surely are in the maximum tax bracket, I think. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just guessing that's in the very top echelon of the one half of the top 1/2 percentile. Yeah. So the gross income would be $5.9 million, which would go on line 1H of your, I think. Your tax return, if you knew such things. All I know is TurboTax. I answer 1 million questions, and they give 1 million answers, and they produce a 1040. That's all I know. I totally depend on TurboTax. Anyway, I look through some of the menus, and I think internet type prizes or gratuitous receipts of monies through this kind of inheritance. That's a complicated tax question. Inheritance is just the first. I don't know what's exempt and what isn't. Colloquially speaking, I don't know. Consult your financial advisor. Anyway, this is not subject to any taxes that may be due. when one receives $5,000,009 from an inheritance? I actually don't have a clue. Thank you, Grandpa. We'll figure it out. Now notice the 5% annuity, $6,195,000, the last column here, that would be the second payment. That would be 1 year and 1 day from today's payment of $5,000,009 in this hypothetical inheritance. Now, when you go to years or payments number 23, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and payment 30, notice that the $5,000,009, the initial payment, this is the most difficult one to calculate. The $6,195,000 is easy because that's $5,000,009 plus 5%. Yeah, and the third payment would be 5% more than that payment. But when you get to the end of the string of 30 payments, that 5% growing, compounding, adds to 20. Your $5,000,009 has grown to $2,004,000, 24 million rather, 24,285,000. Woo! Big numbers. Yep. Now in this case we have underpaid in this because you're supposed to receive $392 million over the 29 years plus the first payment on day one, because it needs to be 392 and it's only 391. It's 10,780 short. And why is that? Because we don't pay tenths of a penny one way or the other. Now that's also calculated here because we, in the very beginning, we rounded up or down to the nearest 10,000. See, and that 10,000 is right there because we rounded down that 10,000. We would have been 780 short, but it's 10,780 because we rounded down. Oh yeah. Now we got to bring it back up because with that last payment of $24,285,000, it should have been $295 instead of $285. And then we would still owe $780 more. So, hence the $10,780. Shown in red because we underpaid the $392 million annuity. When you add all these payments up, the whole row, going back to payment, first payment, the second payment, the third payment, the fourth, fifth, the 23rd, 24th, 25th, yeah. So that's 30 payments, 29 years and a day. Yep. It is a 5% growing annuity. That's how that works. That's why I produced that little over under thingy there. Just to remind you, over here, it's a $392 million annuity. And we only paid $391,989,000. So we're 10,780 short. No problem. Just included in the payment number 30. Just increase that by 10,780. See how easy that can be? Anyway, that's what's showing right there. I happen to be following the professional golf, as it were. Yeah, the Memorial Tournament, sponsored by Workday. And this is a Jack Nicklaus. Avanti is like 86 or 87, something like that. And he started this tournament 50 years ago. 50 years ago. When he was a young lad. Yeah. So they bought the property 10 years before. Bought the property, created a golf course. 10 years later, they created this first tournament 50 years ago. And here we are 50 years later. This 50-year Jack Nicklaus design course. Or, no, it's, I guess we designed it. Jack Nicklaus owns the course. In Murrayfield Village Golf Club in Dublin, Ohio. What am I going to do with all this property? They were saying. Oh, let's make it a golf course. Well, that's what he did. And 50 years later, they still have, PGA golf tournament on here. It's a $20 million purse. So, first place is like $4.5 million, round numbers. I haven't seen the prize money yet, but this is Sunday. Now notice you see all the way on the right side of this little scale. Oops, which you cannot see, sorry. Oops, we need to shrink this down a little bit. There we go. Sorry about that. I have more pixels on my iPad than what I've devoted to that half of the stream. This is a stream. Yes, it is. We are streaming. This is what I have to do to fix the problem. There we go. There we go. We get back to. So if we see on this image, you notice on the very right edge of that image, it says -9. That's the cumulative under par value for 3 rounds plus 2 rounds plus 5 holes of the 3rd round. And R. Gerard is -1 through 5 holes of the 3rd round. Now today is Sunday, it's supposed to be the 4th round. Well, these guys haven't finished the 3rd round because there's lightning horn. That was the lightning horn. Yeah. In the afternoon, so everybody was chased off the course, and they had to resume play this morning to finish up yesterday's round. So these guys have to play not 18 holes because they played 5 holes. They're through 5 holes. Everybody had to pick up their ball where they left it, when the horn went. So they stick a golf tee in there and pick up the ball. And the caddy makes a note of it, takes a picture of it, of the tee lot, so they can put the ball back where it was. You get a free lift, in other words, because of the horn. I think it's lift in place. So they place the ball back where it was, right by the tee. They don't drop. I think it's lift in place. Yeah, you lift it up and put it in your pocket, put the tee where the ball was, and then you place it back. Yeah. So if you have a big booger on the ball, you basically get that wiped off because you put down a clean ball. In theory, I think it has to be the same ball. So you kind of leave that in your pocket. You can clean it off, with a cloth. So you shuffle it through 14 holes. Bradley's through 11 holes. I'm going up from the bottom. E. Cole is through 6 holes, as is his, playing partner Burns. And then you got Piston and Gerard, Poston, they're apparently playing partners also. So they're tied for first place. Burns is in second place by himself at -8. Cole is at -6. Scheffler, the star is there because he was last year's champion of this tournament and also the year before. Back-to-back wins. Will he make it a third? A trifecta? I don't know, he's like in 12th place after 14 holes. 2 rounds plus 14 holes. So he's got 15, 16, 17, 18. He's got 4 more holes to go. Plus 18 holes. So he's 22 holes to finish. He's at -1. So, how many more birdies will he? You win this tournament with birdies and eagles. He's had an eagle already in this round. Unfortunately, he's had, a bogey or 2. This is a picture, so I can't. Let's go to ESPN, and we'll pull up. Live TV, folks. Be patient. Patience is a virtue. That's why I don't have any. Yes, sir. Let's find some golf if we can. Not sure what I'm looking at here. I want to watch. I don't know what this is. Let's just touch this paddle. Okay, unable to play. I don't want to play. There we go. So this is the tournament. This is live updates. So Scotty finished the 4 holes of yesterday's play to end up with a 68. A par 72, so he's 4 under yesterday for Saturday. He's 4 under for today. He's finished now. So I don't know whether they continue playing on the course. Are they first to tee off today? I'm not too sure how that works. There's a scorecard for round 3. Yeah. He's got that bogey sitting there, yeah. That Bogeyville, yeah. It's a plant. Bogan. So we have no. Alright, so let's undo his scorecard. Yeah. All right, so
It's 8:45.
we'll get there. See, round 3 is in progress for some people. Like on the top there, Gerard hasn't finished. See, there's no score in there for round 3. Scheffler's, he only had 4 holes to play. He played them, and he did well. Yeah, he got a couple of birdies in the last few holes. Look at his scorecard. Yeah. See, he had 15, 16, 17, and 18 to play. He got a birdie on 15, a birdie on 16. So that gave him 2 more birdies, which brought him up to -3 for the day. That's what happened, yeah. Whereas Gerard, we can we can see his scorecard. So he's on hole 12. So that's birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie, birdie. So he's 2 under for the play so far. Should be. Which shows, see, today he's -2 because he did birdie, bogey, birdie, bogey, birdie. So he's got 2 more birdies and bogeys. So he's 2 under for today through 11 holes. So he's on the 12th hole on the tee box. He's -10. Remember, he's finishing up round 3. And then he has to play 18 holes for round 4. So he's going to be, in theory, he's going to be a tired puppy. Now, Scheffler is played 4 holes, 2 birdies, and 2 pars for finishing up for the Sunday round. He had to finish up 4 holes from yesterday's round because of a lightning storm postponement. And he had 4 holes to play, which he has played. Yeah. So when that says -4 for today, that meant Saturday. This is a score panel for Saturday's play, although some of it's played on Sunday. Then these guys will go back to their room or whatever, depending on when their tee-off time is. And you can see Scotty's he's tied for 9th place. He went up 10 positions because of that couple of birdies. He and Justin Rose, they're both at -3 net of all days of play. So he's 7 behind the leader. That's well, the leader ain't done yet. We'll see where he ends up. He ends up with more birdies or whatever. So he's 10 under for 2 rounds of play. 2 rounds plus 11 holes. That's 18. 18 is 36. 56, 57 holes. Let's do that. So, with 57 holes in play, let's divide that by 11. So he's about 0.2. 11 are times 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 7 holes times 7. So he'd be about, if Gerard plays, about the same as he's already played. Oh gosh. He'll be at minus 11 or minus 12. So he could be 2 or 3 under for the day, bringing him to minus 11 or minus 12 for the 3 rounds of play. Wow. So Scotty is at like 8 off the leader. That's quite a, that's 4 holes. 1 gets a bogey, 1 gets a birdie. So 4 scenarios show up between Scotty and Poston. Scotty needs a birdie every time Poston gets a bogey. He needs 4 bogeys. And that would put Scotty and Poston at a tie. That's what has to happen today. Scotty needs 4 more birdies than Poston gets. And he needs Poston to get a couple of bogeys. All right, so that's what's going on. We don't track. You see statistics. We don't actually track. In my monster display of how to track annuity payments, over 30-year annuity payments, where you can pick, the estate. It could be the estate instead of the word jackpot. It's a huge spreadsheet. That's what we're practicing here. Now you notice in this display we only see one row of numbers. Now the prior drawing, the numbers are like grayed out. We're familiar with grayed out. So you can see, but it's not highlighted. The stage of gray. I think it's the third or fourth stage on the Richter scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is the most graying, the least visible, and solid black, which is the most visible. That's what those difference between those two numbers are. 1 is grayed out. Now, if you didn't want your payments over 30 years, you could go to a financial institution with this annuity. This is not financial advice. It never is around here. We don't give advice. We talk to ourselves frequently. But we don't give advice. Advice? Self? What do you think? No, we don't give advice. We're full of opinions, but we don't give advice. No. I'm just making sure I can see what you can see. These are disclosures, disclaimers, and whatnot. That's when the whistle blew. This was this. When did I grab this? This was at 6 a.m. this morning. See, we had round 2. And then the round 3, well, these players weren't finished yet, so they don't have a round 3 numbers for these guys. They all have, 4 to 14 holes to play, You shuffler. All these guys, they don't have their third round scores in because Scheffler this morning, no one intends to tee off yet. His third round score, none of these third round scores are recorded yet. Now Scheffler has already finished his 4 holes. And he was 4 under for the day, so it would be a 68 in this block, which we see. No, we don't see. We have to go to ESPN. There we go. So this This is in progress. Scotty's finished for the day. This is yesterday's play. They're finishing it up now. Yeah. Scotty's already finished his 4 holes. Gerard is, see, through 12, through 14, finish, through 17. McNeely. Yeah. 17. Yeah. These guys are finishing up. One hole to play. 2, 3, 4 holes to play. 6 holes to play. So some of these guys have 6 holes to play yet. As of now, as of this instant. This is live updates. Yeah. This is live update, baby. Live. So if Gerard and Poston, if they play as good as they have played, then they're going to be 1 or 2 strokes more under par than they are now. By the time they finish with today's play, they got 6 holes to go. So they're going to be -1 or -2. 1 or 2 more under par. If they play as good as they played in the first 3 rounds. Now they may not. Last 6 holes of today, they may not play as well. In which case, they'll drop back down in the pack. You have to put 4 good rounds together. You don't get a 3-round. No prizes for 3 rounds of play. Yeah, you gotta finish 4 rounds of play. We're not going to sit on that screen forever. I'm going to give you a full view of this. Yes. Yeah, my little display is being beaten up and hit. Yeah. Not easy being squeezy when you're sitting up here hanging in the breeze. Now, if I had our good friends, you know, that's we'll score we had ourselves back in. There we go. Sitting on the edge. I try to have it so the edge of my, there we go. The edge of my left, of my screen is right on the edge of our display right there. Yeah. That's the edge of wetness right there. And if I go full screen, there you go. You see this little microphone friend here? Yeah. You don't see my control panel. on my audio, which is down here. I have a way of showing that, but I would have to activate, which I can activate. Just click right here, I think. There it is, live and in color. And that is the top of my warm coffee that's still warm. Yeah. I come over here and you see the top of my soundboard. Let's get this out of the way. See if I can. I'm upside down and backwards here. So, here's as to how I show this on my iPhone. Interesting. Yeah. That's my sound. Microphone, 1, 2, 3. And now you can hear me. And Epidemic Sound Instrumental. You can hear it loud. You can hear it. You can't hear it. And this tab right here is where I like to have it. There's the top of the soundboard with the plugs. You can see the plugs. Those two right there, one's for the microphone and one is for the input for the Epidemic Sound Instrumental. That's this black wire here. Yeah. This red, marked in red because that's for the microphone. You unplug that and you can't hear me anymore. All right, so we're going to discontinue this broadcast from my iPhone. And there we go. And we're going to add back in this. And we have to swap cameras. There we go. Now we're back to where we were. And this is updating. People that were on the 17th hole are now. Tony Finau was on the 18th fairway somewhere. I don't know if he's chipped up on the green or whatever. I'm not watching it on TV. Yeah. So we'll just shrink that down and come back to him later. Here's how I came up with the 1.35. 1.35 strokes for the 6 holes he has to play. That's why that calculator's there. Oops, we go here. And this license will keep him. Pages. Why do we have pages? Because this right here select. That's it. Copy that. Now we're going to rename this tab to 2026, and then I'm going to Control V that, and that is now our name for that tab. 2026. Disclaimers, disclosures, streams, warnings, and notices. That's the name of that. Yeah. See? There it is, 2000. Disclosures. That didn't really have a name until now. Well, now it does. Look at this. Here's my sign that I put up for the good doctor. He paid $2,000 to have an outlet brought down on a column. And people were plugging in unceremoniously, just stealing electric power, which is, according to Florida Statute 812-14 of the Florida Statutes, which states that electricity theft conviction is punishable by a $1,000 fine and or 1 year of prison. A police report may be filed against you due to your violation of Florida Statute 812-14. Govern yourself accordingly. Yes, sorry, Bob. Anyway, that sign is right there immediately below the plug. You can't miss it. It's in this red. Yep. Got this red flavor to it. Let's, is this an actual, yeah, oh yeah, this is a page file. So let's go to this right here. I feel like we're in the middle of a procedure here. Select all. So we're gonna do this format thingy. Whoops.
It's 9:15.
All right. Trying to figure out time to.
I see a shadow in the fading light. Cities breathing, hearts collide. You say my name like it feels just right. I don't wanna run,
There we go. Getting a little confusing, was it? Yeah. There we go. We know how to get rid of confusing. It's not easy being a producer, the director, and the talent. I use that talent word in quotation marks, of course. There we go. Where's our Tesla? It's not plugged in. Set to 101 pause rail south. It's right there where the red arrow is. This is my Tesla app, which I have loaded onto my iPad and have registered this as a driver. So if I didn't have my iPhone and I didn't have my wallet, which has my Tesla card in it, which is not here yet. It's in the red thing with a T on it. Tesla. Yeah, so that's somewhere else. In the kitchen, dining, it's the kitchen living room somewhere. So when we go out to lunch today, I'll have it with me. Yeah. So here's a software. So let's go Tizzy. Do I have Tizzy? Let's see. Tessie or something. Yeah, let's look at Tessie. Let's see where one of these apps that tells you how far along you are. Here we go. See, software update. It says 40%. Yeah. So I've downloaded 40% of the software. This is 14.3.3. 3.3, yeah. For the full self-driving application. 14.3.3. A lot of people are saying this is a rather substantial update. It's got rid of the sign. This is this is the up-to-date on people finishing up Saturday's round on Sunday. Some people have to play 15 holes to golf. 14 or 15 holes to golf today and then pay another 18. So if you were at the beginning of your round, like full hole 4, perhaps, or 5 yesterday, you got 14 holes of yesterday's play today and then today's play. So it'd be a more tiring experience for them as opposed to Scotty Scheffler, who only had to finish up 4 holes of yesterday's play before he plays again today as a 29-year-old young chap. Scotty says he salvaged whatever he said. After hitting what he called some of the worst shots that he has hit in a couple of years at the memorial. Oh, yeah. Ah, yeah. I made a little spaghetti sauce at 11 p.m. last night. And in these little cups, I tasted some thin spaghetti. You wonder what that is? Yep. That's what I was doing. That's why that picture's there. We have a little puppy dog, 5 months old, little booger. 5 months, 1 week. Look at those paws. Room to grow yet. Is about 9 pounds out of a 16-pound dog. So it's about 60% along the way. And there's a little cat. Not a big distance. We've come a long way. Yeah. Here's Scotty Scheffler, one of his few positive fist bumps. Oh, there's a happy dog down there. She woke up from her nap. Yeah. Her tail's wagging, banging on it. Into some of the stuff I have down here in my footwell of traffic. Yeah. Oh, here's oh, I took a better one. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. With the broccoli. I haven't made it look good yet. There we go. Highlights. And highlights. That's about it right there. Broccoli. Ribs. Chicken. There's some rib bones. And there's broccoli. There you go. Yesterday at 1:08 p.m. There's the chicken and the ribs. They're like stuck together at Houston's. That's how the picture started out.
It's 9:30.
There we go. Six p.m. and 1:08 p.m. There we go. I took the broccoli out of the broccoli dish and put it on the plate, covering the Houston's logo. Well, it's too bad. They could have brought everything this way. more interested in eating than setting up the plate. If I was taking pictures for Houston's, I would have pushed and rolled this down and had the Houston's in the background. That's 2 minutes of play. Oh, this is a guy. Is cutting up someone else's ribs. His buddy. Interesting. Let's crop this baby big time. Get rid of that ugly ass elbow. Get rid of that key. Whatever that was. We're interested in this hamburger, cheeseburger, whatever it is. Yeah. I'll have the salt. Keep the salt in there. Looks good. This is the table next to us. Trying to take a picture without being obvious. The shadows. Let's get a little color in there. Make those tomatoes look like tomatoes. Looks pretty good, huh? So this is a chicken sandwich. That's the chicken. Yeah. Nice chicken. He's got a knife in hand. Action video. We're interested in the cheeseburger. We're not interested in the knife in hand, although we'll keep that for forensic purposes. In case he comes after me with the knife. We know he had it in his hand before he came after me. Yeah, we don't need to see all that here. I want this knife hand though. Yeah, we'll keep that in view. Yeah. Let's get back up to the... Yeah. That's about it. 12:57. That's before our food came. I was looking at their food. Yeah. to say. We were showing Marilyn. Marilyn, dog, cat. Yeah. And Jimmy. Yeah, at 3 p.m. Here's a said dog. I went, psst. Little head popped up. Said, what do you want? I'm trying to take a nap here. Looks pretty good. Just a little better. Don't forget the moon this evening, 7 or 8 o'clock. Moon set. Next week, or this week, depending on how you. Is Sunday the beginning of the week? Sunday belonged to last week, and Monday belongs to next week. For those of you who consider Monday the beginning of the week, like Thursday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week is the closing of the largest IPO in world history. They guess it at $1.75 trillion. Which will be the initial public offering set. Elon thinks he's gonna set it. He ain't gonna set shit. He's just like the CEO of any other goddamn 10S. Yeah. We did a 10SB because we're a small business. He's just regular business. He's 10S. The market determines the valuation. So if they suggest an opening price of $135 a share, does so much share price bidding, so to speak, there's about 70 of the 175, or the $1.75 trillion offering. I believe there's $75 billion in new money coming into the company by the initial public offering. I think SpaceX gets $75 billion in cash in exchange for this initial public offering. And the brokerages, the 4 or 5 brokerages, they're the ones that are essentially selling their shares to the public at a flat price of $135 a share. Now that would be the opening value. And then, it bids up or down from there. So if the investment bankers, have a hard time selling that $75 billion of new money at $135 a share, then the price will come down. And if it's oversubscribed, more people want it than is available, then that'll go up to 135, 45, 55. Who knows? Maybe it goes up to 150 a share. In which case, we're talking $2 trillion company. Because all the shares are essentially being priced, even though they can't trade today or next week or whatever. If the IPO becomes alive middle to end of next week, and it's just like someone turns on the switch. All the investors line up. And they're either trying to elbow each other to try and get... I've been part of a couple of IPOs that were active. where people really wanted the shares. And the brokerage, like Merrill Lynch in this case, was the one, selling the shares to the public. And so my broker saved a few shares for me, like 200 shares. So I made, $2,000 or $3,000 profit instantaneously. Because the brokerage already had their shares at their price, and it bid up, It was a hot one. Everyone wanted it. I forget what it was. 30 years ago. William R. Goodhue. How about that for a name? William R. Goodhue was the name of my investment banker at Merrill Lynch. Companies prepare for initial public offering. They'd always set a price range, Elon was like zeroing it down into a dollar amount. He doesn't know jack shit about IPOs and how these brokerages work. It's a mystery. It's like rule book, but not such a rule book. You can't tell with these stockbrokers, Even though they have the hallowed halls and it was like, when he was speaking to whoever the hell he was talking to, he was like making it sound like I'm the richest guy on the planet and I'm going to tell you what happens. And they're basically saying, hey, fuck you. Whoops. Excuse me. Sunday morning. Screw you. We'll sell the shares and the market determines the rest. There are more buyers and sellers, it goes up. More sellers and buyers, it goes down. It's as simple as that. And we can't control it. Nope. As we come off of full moon, let's face it, we're in June. We're 1 week past. And this is a couple of days. This is 2 days ago. 2 day ago picture. Oh, I'm showing it today. We can go up on it. June 6th. Oh, yesterday morning, yeah. Or yesterday. That's when they worked on the picture. Berlin had a picture of this spectacular looking, it's probably a New York strip. I had to make it, he's like a New York strip guy. And I finished my continuing ed. It always comes down to, you have a 30 question test. It's an open book test. Open book continuing ed class. You're supposed to spend 14 hours on doing the class. 14 or 15 hours. Something like that. So when it comes to taking this test, which I took, so here's my answer sheet in blank. I haven't done it yet. My broker name and address and everything. All right. This guy loaned Elon Musk $1 million on SpaceX. They had, this is going back in their history, not that many years ago, loaned him $1 million because Elon was about to go out of business. Because if the fourth rocket blew up, he's toast. 3 rockets blew up. So the fourth, it's test rockets, Well, sooner or later, you got to get one that doesn't blow up, right? That's the whole idea. You launch stuff into space, the rocket can't blow up. Well, 3 of them in a row blew up. One blew up, then they spent a couple months trying to tweak it here and there, so one blew up. Second one blew up. The third one blew up. So now the fourth one, this is, went through 3 iterations of blowing up. And I went to this guy and got $1 million from him so his company wouldn't go bankrupt. And now, years later, after no more blow-ups, the shares that this guy got, he got a 7% stake in the company in exchange for $1 million. And today, that's worth $90 billion with a B. That's, that's the price you pay for, shit. He bet on Elon Musk and won. He had the $1 million and he put it up. Yep. These documents have been uploaded. All right, there's my test. I filled it out. I missed question 6. Yep. It was one of those questions that had 3 right answers. And there wasn't any answer better than the other. Bullshit. Oops. Baloney. Sorry. Did it again. Yeah. In the meantime, no one won the lottery either, so. No one usually does when the odds are 290 billion to 1 against you. Yeah, you don't plan on winning this. You just hold your nose and pay your $5 to contribute to the educational fund of the state of Florida. All right, so Trump says Iran has not agreed to a deal because they're strong and they're proud. They're also BSers. And for 47 years, they've been BSing the whole world into thinking that they're unbeatable. All right. IPO. Here's my 7 points. Disclaimers, disclosures, streams, warnings, notices, cautions. Yeah, I come down to your podcast. Yeah, there it is. That's the latest version. Sunday, June 7th, episode 3602B. 600. Can you imagine broadcasts from this little studio here in Never Never Land at 10:05 a.m. on Sunday morning? Marilyn is still sleeping, I think. Yeah. I told her to pull her blinds and sleep late. We'll eat lunch out. Even though I made magnificent spaghetti sauce. It's so good. Yeah, it's really good. That's the best image I have. I'm going to have to go through eBay and try to find an Underwood typewriter that my grandfather invented. Something like this one. He invented it, and he literally hand carved all the keys out of, he machined every key out of pure stainless steel in his own personal metal lathing shop. Yeah, go figure. There's yours truly. With my best friend. Oh yeah, she's a beauty. Phew. Got lucky. All right, sports fans, we're gonna call it a day. A day in the life. A little guy in his studio at 81 years old, and so that's a cup of coffee. You can see it. Almost see it. There it is. These mugs are, whoops, an old dentist fallen down twice on that same spot. Well, one time here, one time there. Yeah. Drop. Got a protective metal rim down there, which works apparently. Good idea, folks. Little engineering. Yeah, because the seal still works. It's a vacuum seal in there. It keeps hot things hot and cold things cold. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.